Okay, welcome back to Mr. Smith Garage. We are here in the garage with Lars in the background here. Lars is our 2002 EuroVan with a VR6 24 valve motor. You'll notice this is a little bit different than the 12 valve. It's got these variable cam timing pieces here. Just so that you know what we're accomplishing today, we're going to do the timing. It has to be pretty accurate because it is an interference engine. And so, the valves are all in here. It's set right now to top dead center, which you can see by my mark here with that tooth lining up with the main bolt there. Then I also have a mark down here that you should be able to see that's lined up there. So number 1 and number 6 are at top dead center. I have my tool in here, keeping the cams in line. I also, if you'll notice that the lobes on the intake and the exhaust cam are pointing towards each other. So that's important to know. Let's see, what else is important? It's all important, but I do have new bolts for the cam gears here, and then also for the intermediate gear. Also got some blue Loctite because I am reusing my hardware in here, which I know most people will recommend that you change this hardware. But as I look at it, it's not worn, they're not rubbed on. Nothing was catastrophic in this endeavor. It just needed to be the timing chain in gear, intermediate gear, and all the tensioners and guides needed to be replaced. I've also got my lower timing chain cover seal put in. You want this in here because this allows you to get it up and over this crank shaft. My upper timing chain cover is here. I've got two new seals for the sensors. I've got my new O-ring here. That was my old O-ring. This is my old tensioner. And here's the new one. See, this one's they sound both like they're fine. I will tell you that when I took this out, this was stuck in the in position. So not providing tension, which is probably why when I moved the crank by trying to start the engine, it skipped a tooth and bent a couple valves. So I've also got a seal here for that upper timing chain cover. I've cleaned all the surfaces on everything so that everything is ready to go back together. And so we will try to start here, and this could be a long video or it might be a short video. I guess we shall see, huh? I've also cleaned all of the surfaces here, so we're going to just be super careful with our head gasket. Make sure that we don't bend that while we're putting the chain through. And we'll start with this guide for the lower timing chain. It's going to be this guide here. And what we're going to do is put some blue thread lock. And these, based on my book, are going to be tightened to 10 Newton meters, which is 89 inch-pounds. I have cleaned out all of these holes, and we're just using blue thread lock so that it will stay in position. This is a 5mm Allen, and I've got this set to 89 inch-pounds. Which is not very tight. I will tell you that. Which is why I wanted to use the thread lock. Now that that's on, I'm going to slide this in here. Intermediate gear, intermediate bolt. This is a stretch bolt, so I'm replacing this bolt for the intermediate gear. You can see that I've got some markings here. Put a mark here too. You'll notice that there's a little arrow here, and that's going to go at the top there. Try and get that. Notice that that's still there. Yep, that's still right. I think I'm one tooth off here. One more tooth. We want to make sure that this side is tight. Okay, and then this side has the slack in it, which it does. And our little mark here is lined up. I'm going to show you that from straight on, because I know from, see that arrow is pointing up. No slack on this side. Our yellow timing mark there is lined up. And so we are ready to put on this tensioner. And these are to 8 Newton meters, which is 71 inch-pounds. Again, this is still, yep, 5 millimeter. These are a little bit longer, but you can see they only have the threads at the bottom. And on this one, I'm going to put it in snug. I'm not going to torque it until I get it all the way in there. Just don't want that little clip to spring out and hit you in the face. Make sure you have your safety glasses on. I'll tell you, this is going to be a lot less torque than there it is. Once again, 71 inch-pounds or 8 Newton meters. So now we have this one in. We can pull this out and let that give our, there we go. Hang on to that. You may need that again someday, huh? Okay, so we've got our bottom set done. This top one is going to be tension track pivot pin. That is 13 foot-pounds. 13 foot-pounds. I noticed the other day when I did a video on the car show, when I was in the bus, I noticed that the feedback was really strong on the microphones that I have here. So I'm wondering if it's because they're technically supposed to be a little bit more like noise canceling, and because of the noise of the engine inside the bus, I believe that's why it seemed so weird sounding. So I'm hoping that that's the case, and that we're going to have to be just fine when it comes to our volume today. I probably should check that out. There's that 13. 13. We'll keep that there at 13. Like I said, we're being real careful of that head gasket there. This is going to go down right in that slot. And then those two bolts, 30 foot-pounds. That's going to be on this one here. Seems strong, but we'll we'll get this one in because these need to be in here. Oh, those are bigger. That's a bigger Allen. Must be 6 mil. Yep. That seems really tight. But you certainly don't want these falling out. Okay, my camera stopped, but I think we're okay. It just stopped briefly, so we'll see. Try to keep an eye on it, make sure that we're getting everything. So got these torqued down. Now we're going to bring our new chain, which instead of copper coloring, you'll see that I have a colored link. So we're going to drop it through the top. We're being real careful of our head gasket. I'm going to take this bolt out. This is going to go, being careful of our head gasket. There we go. You see that hydraulic piece move a little bit. I want to make sure that it goes back to the back. Oh, I got to put in my upper tension piece. So this piece here goes up on the bridge, the cam bridge. And it should go this way. In fact, I'm going to come to the back side here. And it kind of just snaps on there. I want to make sure that these are in an appropriate spot here. Small new intermediate gear. Show you the old one just so you can kind of see the wear. Not too bad. I've seen some that are really bad. You know, metal's not made to last forever, right? And then you'll see that this has got a little notch in here. That notch will go on the middle of those. And then it should fit snug right in there. With little to no slack on that side. We need to get this in here snugged up. Is that 15 millimeter? And we will torque this down later, but let's get it in there snug. We don't want to twist this at all. And then these we want to snug down. And I don't have this last piece in here yet, but that's next. Boy, that is really close. That's why you don't want any slack on this side, because look how close that is to that cam bridge. And that's what delivers oil to everything up here. It must be at 19. Yeah. Okay, so we've got no slack on this side. All of our slack is over here. Okay, we've got the 3 colored links. My notch right here in the middle. I'll put a yellow piece on there. This notch is lined up. This notch is lined up. And then I'll take you to the top of the cam adjusters here. You can see this is lined up through that tooth into that notch. And then this little tree on the, this is the exhaust side, is through this tooth, which is colored, into that line there, through there. All of my slack is on this side. Once I get this tensioner in here, all of this stuff should stay snug with no loose, nothing loose at the top and nothing loose down this side. Let's get that last tensioner piece in, which is another one of these types of pieces with this one. And so this is 10 Newton meters. With rubber gloves on, it certainly does make it a little more difficult to work with slippery sockets. So, you know, one thing to remember is that I have never worked on a VR6 before. So you're getting a layman's, is that right? I'm not a professional. Not a professional. But since that's what it said it is, that's what we're going to go with. So, once again, this is the time that I should do a spin test. Like I should rotate the crank 2 full rotations and see if my timing marks are still in line. And what I've seen, one of my favorite video guys to watch when it comes to this VR6 stuff is the Humble Mechanic. He seems to, I mean, he's a professional, seems to know what he's doing. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tighten these up so that I've got some pressure on this. Okay, should have pressure here. There's nothing loose anywhere. And here's where it gets a little tricky, but we're gonna give it a shot just because this is what he does. So, okay, I'm gonna put this down on the level. Which, man, this thing feels heavy. I did have some questions from some viewers on how I did this mount. So let me just show you what I did on this mount while I'm getting to it, because it feels really heavy. But this is a regular Harbor Freight half ton, so 1,000 pounds, right? These two kind of fit. No, I think I had to drill this one out a little bit more, or maybe it was this one. And then I had to drill a hole here. I tried to drill a hole here that would work. It didn't end up fitting in there, but the fact that I got 4 bolts in there worked just great. I also got these spacers at Ace Hardware, which are they were like $4 each, but it brought it off just enough so that the bottom of this thing doesn't hit the case there. And so it kind of offsets it just a little bit. Okay, so here is the true test. I'm gonna bring this around here. Okay, so first things first, I'm gonna take this cam tool out. It was fit in there really nice and snug. I've got tension here to hold this tension, and I have these tightened down, not torqued down, but tightened down enough. Same with this one. And we're going to make 2 full rotations here. Clockwise from the front of the engine. So clockwise from the front of the engine, it's 27 millimeter on this bolt right here. Here it goes. If I see anything start to slip, there is 1 rotation. Everything seems like it's holding steady. Got the motor mount here, so here comes around number 2 rotation. And I don't want to go past. So over here I've got these yellow lines, I'm watching them. I think that's 2 full rotations. So we're just going to double check all of our lineup here. Okay, yellow tooth is on the yellow line. That did not go back up to the top, but it's on the yellow line at the bottom. Was that 2 full rotations? I think it was. Okay, let's see where we're at up here. So I've got from my tree across the tooth to my line, and then in between I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then I've got my line to my line through the tooth to my line. The only thing I'm not sure about is this. It just went to the bottom. But everything else is back in line. Oh, yep, my cam lobes are back together. That's right. I got to put this tool back in and see if it slides back in there. It does. It's a little snug on one side here, but it slides in there, so that's the key thing. So the only thing I'm not sure about is this, but I'm going to go back and look at another video just to make sure that that's correct, that it's okay that it goes to the bottom versus the top. I didn't hear anything slip. Everything's good here. I just need to now torque these 3 bolts down. So that's what I'm going to do. I am going to go look at the Humble Mechanics video one more time to see if that, after he went around 2 times, did that arrow come back to the top, or did I do something wrong here? So give me a few minutes here. I'll be right back. Okay, so I double checked it and triple checked it, and that's what we need to do. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to torque down these bolts. It's okay that that's going to the bottom because we did 2 rotations. It's okay as long as on the top we have everything matching up, and in between our lineup here we've got 16 rollers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then that tooth lines up, we are golden. And so the torque of this process is pretty specific. So what we're going to do is bring this back down so you can kind of see what we're doing, and also just so that I can show you what I'm doing at the top of the engine. I have to bring this down so you can see what's going on down here. So our intermediate gear torque, sprocket bolt, here it is. Intermediate shaft sprocket bolt, 44 foot-pounds with a tighten an additional 90 degrees, which is a quarter turn. Moving the timing. There's 44. So then I got to go an extra 90 degrees. This is what always scares me. I don't know if this scares you guys, but whew, an extra 90 degrees. So if I go from here and here, I want to get it to here. An extra 90. That was not quite 90 degrees. I feel like I'm putting a lot of weight on this, but a little bit more. I feel like I need 2 people here. Okay, I'm pushing a lot down this way, so I think I want to lift this back up. Okay, I am so close on this. And I certainly don't want to screw it up now, right? I'm going to say that's close enough to 90. The hard part is that these ones I think are going to be even harder. Okay, so we got this one tight. Now it's the cam gear bolts. Those are same thing, 44 foot-pounds and then a quarter turn. I think on this one now we are going to use this. I'd rather feel better about using this, which is the direct shaft that it's tightening itself on. There's 44. There's 44. So I'm going to do my little paint deal again here. 90 degrees. I need a bigger torque wrench. Give me just a little bit more torque here. We're going to pull this way, pull this way. Just to stretch it. There's 90. Okay, really close to those roller rockers, so I'm trying to be careful of those too. Try to be careful of these adjusters here. Okay, we're gonna push, I think. Almost. Just don't want it to slip. There it is. There we go. Okay. Well, so there we have it. Yep, that's okay still. Yep. Got these torqued 44 and 90 degrees. Timing's still in here. Got the timing tool is still good. Whew. Boy, that was quite a job. So I do want to thank you for joining us at Mr. Smith Garage. That was almost a whole battery. And I hope the volume's a little bit better this time. Appreciate all you watching this. And again, I'm not a professional. I've watched a lot of videos, and I do really appreciate Humble Mechanic. If you don't watch his channel too. Probably give you a lot of the same pointers that I just did. He probably did it better than I did, but appreciate everything that he shows. And I appreciate you watching what I'm doing with this project, because this is a project. And I want to get it done here sooner or later. So next piece will be putting on my lower timing chain cover. That'll go on next. And then the upper timing chain cover. Then we'll do the oil pan. So that's kind of the next steps. So thanks again for joining me, Mr. Smith Garage. Like, subscribe, tell everybody that you know to watch Mr. Smith Garage. See you later.